the Miss Perfect of Liverpool, Amanda Harrington with us. She's going to be telling us all about her career from start to finish and all the secrets that she hasn't shared with anyone else. So, Amanda, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so where do I start? Where do you want me to start from? Where? Because we'd be here all day.
Yeah, what we'll go back to is, what was your life in school?
Do you know what? I was actually good in school. I was good in school, and then like I got to C's and all that, and then I got in with like the wrong gang, and my tutor tried to like rein me in, do you know what I mean, and keep me in and all that, because I was a bit of a nerd, to be honest, at first.
Go on.
Yeah, in the first year seniors, and then I got in with this other gang, and you know, we're like, you're in with the cool gang and all that.
Was you academically clever?
Well, yeah, I was. Up until the last year, I done all my coursework to get entered into all my exams. I was doing dead well, and then, as I say, started going out then and going to Paradox and all that.
Remember that?
Remember the Paradox?
Do you remember Deja Vu?
Yeah, that was the best room ever, wasn't it? Best ever.
That's a burger joint in there.
It was amazing. I think I can't remember how old I was, but I was so young. Started going out, and then we started just like not really giving a shit about school, and I didn't really have. I mean, my mum was on her own with me and like working all the time. My dad, I didn't have a dad, so I didn't have no one stopping me. Do you know what I mean? So then I come to the exam side of things, and I done all the coursework to get into. I didn't revise, wasn't interested. Started losing all just interest in it all, and then I didn't get one GCSE, and then that was that. But then obviously I left school and I went to
what was your first job?
I'm a qualified beauty therapist.
Correct.
Yeah, and I also qualified. I went to Hugh Bird for 2 years because my mate Steph was like, "You're not going to get nowhere doing the beauty. You need to do this law and legal secretary course." And I was like, so basically, you have to have about 8 GCSEs to get on it. I don't know whether I should even say this. I might get in trouble, but I lied and said that I had these 8 GCSEs, or you needed 6. So I said I already had them on the form. Got in the course, and then I'd done that for 2 years, and I passed with distinctions, law and legal secretary. So I was clever and bright. I just lost my way a bit on the last year of school. So I passed that, and then on the second year, the teacher was like, "You just don't want to be here, do you really? It's just your heart's not in it no more." It was just dead miserable, and I just thought, this is not for me. This sitting behind the computer all day and in this grey room with all these grey people. I was like, it's not for me. So then I went back and done beauty therapy then, and then I done that for a couple of years past that. And then my mum's mate had a shop, so I started working in there doing the nails, and I only done that for a bit.
Did you enjoy it?
I did when I was in college, because I was practicing on my mates, but when you get real people coming in from the streets with like really smelly feet and
imagine your face.
Hairs down there by the knees. I was like having to wax people. I was like, oh. So no, it wasn't for me.
So where did you go from there? So you've just...
So I was doing that for a bit. I think the only client was my nan. And my mum. So I done that for a bit, and then that's when I split up with Savannah's dad then, just before she was going to school.
So did you have Savannah then?
Yeah.
Go away.
I had Savannah when I was 19, so I didn't start modelling until I was 24.
Go away.
Split up with him, and she was like 4, she was just going into school, so that's when I started. Obviously I'd done all the beauty pageants when I was younger and all that, but the actual proper modelling I done didn't start till she was in school, and then I was like 24, I think, 23 or 24.
So how did you get it in to all the beauty pageants? And
my mum was putting me in all kinds when I was younger. She put me in like the local Gala Queen competition, like the Aintree Gala Queen and all that. She had me in all them. And then I always liked doing it, but then I don't know, I wasn't really that interested when I was in college and all that. And then
had you already won Miss Liverpool by then?
Yeah, that was when I was 16.
So you won.
But didn't really do nothing from off the back of that.
You're just so quick, Amanda, so much as that. Let's just go back and rein it in, Tom, rein it in.
Go on.
So, 16, you have gone and won Miss Liverpool. Why did you enter in the first place? Your mum again?
I don't know, my mum was a bit of a pageant pusher. She was one of them pageant mums. No, she weren't. She was just like, oh my God.
She should be proud of you.
Yeah, she was. So she was putting me into everything. But I was only young, do you know what I mean? So I didn't really follow it through with anything.
So you won it, and I know Pat really well. She's just like the nicest person ever in the whole wide world. So you've won it, and then what happens after that?
Nothing. Well,
you didn't pursue it.
There was nothing to really pursue. Do you know what I mean? It was nothing come off the back of it. And then obviously I was in college all the time. Then I had a baby at 19, so it was like I got with Savannah's dad as well when I was 18.
Yeah.
So it was it just wasn't something that I was interested. I wasn't interested in it all, to be honest with you. I just wanted to I actually wanted to be like, I was made up just being like in the house and having a baby and all that. Like didn't have these urges that I wanted to do all that. It was only when we split up and I didn't really know what to do with my life that I decided to do. Well, it was my mate actually. She sent me pictures into
so how old are you now?
I am 23 or 24.
23. You split up with Savannah's dad.
When I was with Savannah's dad, I was in college.
Yeah.
I was in college, and so I was in two years in Hugh Bird when I left school, and then I was in college doing beauty for years where I was with him 3 days a week. So that's just what I've done, and then I got my job in my mum's made shop. So that was what I'd done all that time.
Yeah. And
then it was when we just split up and I didn't know what to do. My mate sent me pictures into 2 magazines, and I won these 2 competitions, and then that was it really then. And then there was a mate of mine, Will Rogers, I don't know whether you know Will. He was like a really big club promoter at the time.
Yeah.
So he was like, listen, do you want to do a calendar? He said, I'll just like put you on the map. And I was just like, oh, I don't know.
What was your confidence like then, Amanda?
It wasn't amazing. But I won these competitions, and there's an amazing photographer called Alan Strutt in like the glamour industry. So Will was like, we'll get him to do the calendar, like, and I'll get you out there and all that. So he was, he sorted it all, he got this calendar done, went down to London, done it and all that. And then, because he was a promoter and all that, he was used to promoting big club nights. So he had like a team of people who plastered the posters all over the place.
Because let's bear in mind, there was no social media then,
was there? No social media, so to get yourself out there, it was newspapers, magazines, it was the Nuts and Zoo at the time. They did competitions that I won in the Nuts and Zoo at the same time. It was like new up and coming model, and then new, I don't know, I can't remember the other one. And then, so he was like, watch what happens tomorrow. So got up the next day and drove to town, and the cover of my calendar, bear in mind, I got like a fair hat on, a pair of fair gloves, and just my hair covering my boobs, and a pair of black knickers on. And the front cover of this calendar was on every single post box, every single phone box, every single corner you turned, it was there, you know, on like the lecky boxes in the street, the grey ones, it was everywhere. And I was like, oh my God. And then that was it.
How did you feel when you've got up in the morning and you've seen that? What was that like?
I don't even think I had a phone, so I don't even think like anyone could even ring me and like say what's going on. You are all over the city, and they were massive, like the size of that poster, like the size of that, it was like the size of that all over the city. And then he pulled another stunt as well, it was funny. He hired Abby Titmus, do you remember her? She was like, I think she was on like...
Did she go with someone like John Leslie or something?
Yeah. So we hired her to do a PA in Liverpool, because he had the club night, and remember that Mood, it was on 3 floors?
Yeah.
He had that, and he hired her to do like a PA. But little did she know, it wasn't really a PA. He set it up, and it was actually mine when he went inside. So there's life-size posters of me, the cover of the calendar, all over this club. And she thought it was a PA, and it was like a big setup, but he didn't even tell me he was doing it. He'd done it all on purpose because all the papers were going to be there.
Wow.
So he's got a limo to pick her up and made me sit in the front, so she didn't know I was in the limo. So we both got out the limo at the same time. And I'm like, what's going on? Because I thought she knew.
Yeah.
And then the photographers are all going mad because we're both, and she was like all confused. And when we've gone in, she's flipped a lid because obviously it's meant to be a personal appearance, and I'm all over the show.
Oh,
and then when she got on the stage, he's threw me onto the stage, and she stormed off, and her cardigan thing got caught on my thing. So the next thing, it's all over the Daily Star the next day, all over the paper saying like, Abby was furious because Amanda's the next Jordan, and I was like, no, I'm not getting my tits out, by the way, but okay, that's what you want to call me. So that was how I got into the public eye. That was what it is down to Will Rogers, like, to be honest with you.
Thanks, Will.
Thanks, Will. It's all down to you. So it was, it was down to him, I must admit. But it was funny though, because he had me on a contract for years, and he was like wanting millions off me.
Was he your like manager?
He was, for a bit, yeah. But he fumed on me because like I was getting offered so much money to go topless and all that, and I wouldn't do it. So he's like, just do it.
What made you not do it, man?
Because it was Savannah, really. Yeah. And then they were doing like a bit more about like, they done a big poll in the Daily Star, should Amanda go topless? It was like 99% said yeah, and then Nuts and Zoo were having like a bit more on the, like, because then I got an agent straight away. There was a Dave Reed who managed Katie Price at the time when she was really big, and they were like, look, come on, just these have offered you this, and they were offering me big money like to do it. And I just thought, you know what, nothing wrong with doing it. Loads of girls have done it, but at the time I just had a daughter and I was still young, but I just thought to myself, I don't really want to be remembered for just being someone for getting, you know, going topless. But then I think now I look back, I think I might as well have, because I was doing implied. My hands were over my nipples, my hair was over my nipples. The only thing I weren't showing really was my nipples, but in that world, if you don't show your nipples, you haven't gone topless. So I was just adamant that I was never going topless. But then even when
I think it was people's opinion as well, was you scared of what people would say?
Yeah, that as well, because like, I was literally like little Virgin Mary, do you know what I mean? And like, I was only ever really been with Savannah's dad at the time, Keith, so I was just like, you know, I was just dead, I was just a bit like, I had no confidence, like that just wasn't really what I want to do, but the look that I had, that's what work was getting off. And I've never been like tall and skinny, like supermodel look. I was always curvy with like big boobs and a bum, do you know what I mean? So the glamour route was the way forward for me because of my looks, but I just didn't want to go topless. So
do you regret it a bit, man?
I probably would have made well more money if I did, like, yeah.
If you had your time again and we go back to that point and you know what you know now, would you do it?
Do you know what? No, I wouldn't. I don't regret my decision because I feel like, but then as I said before, I don't think it made much difference because even when Sam was in school, they were like, your mum got your tits out. So I was like, but I never, like, well, you might as well have because your hair's just over them, but it's, you know, kids are kids, you know what I mean? But I just, I don't know, I still feel like I got respected more in that industry for not doing it. But I did do it because when I tested for Playboy, I went fully naked. But that's what I actually said. I said to them, I'd never go topless or naked unless it's for unless it's for Playboy. So then
tell me about that. How the fucking hell did the girl from Liverpool end up in the Playboy mansion?
So, as I say, they were having that bidding thing over the topless thing, and my agent was like, I'd done like an interview in one of the magazines, and I said, oh, the only way I'd do topless and that is for Playboy, because I thought that, you know, you can't say no to Playboy. Yeah. Marilyn Monroe and everyone's done it, so what a fool if I did say no. So,
oh, let me just say that she did that. She fucking did.
Yeah.
You'd be a fool. You'd be a fool if you did. Amanda Harrington did. Tell us how it happened, doll.
The next thing, I've had a call off my agent saying they wanted me to do English Playboy. So I was like, oh no, that weren't really what I was talking American Playboy. So then when they said how much you got, I was like, you only got 270 quid. No, you don't get paid for Playboy because it's such a big, you don't, it's like the Vogue of the fashion world, you don't get paid to do Vogue either. But anyway, so, and I was like, 270 quid, like, you just get expenses for the day, and I said, I'm not doing that. No, if I'm going fully naked, like, I want to write a few quid in your bank.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then they got in touch with American Playboy, and the next thing you know, well, he must have been him, I don't know, but the next thing you know, I got the call to go. And I was over there within a week, flew over there, and then I stayed there for a week.
Did you want to pinch yourself there, where like, you're like...
No, this is what I said in the podcast I done the other week. Like, I was that busy at the time. I was flying here, there, and everywhere. I was actually, like, I lived in Miami for a bit. I had an agent out there. I was doing Maxim, like FHM, all different stuff. I was here, there, and everywhere. So at the time, it was just, that was my life and my job. So I didn't really appreciate it, but now I'm older and I don't do all that. I look back and think, wow, the stuff that I've done was just unbelievable. And it's just a shame because it couldn't get documented because, well, it did get documented in a way.
But not like it should have now, if you really had it today.
Oh my God, I know. But I had my column at the time in the Echo as well. Okay. So the woman, Dawn Collinson, who used to write my column for, I was emailing her every day about, and it was all documented in my column. So everything that I'd done and everything that went on there was all in my column. So it was like documented in a writing type of way, but just not filmed. Obviously, I tried to sneak my camera in and got it took off me because you're not allowed. We didn't have phones, did we? So, but I tried to sneak my little camera in to the Midsummer Night's Dream party, and I got caught and got it took off me. But so I didn't get no pictures, but it was all in the Echo. But I'll have to dig it out one day when I'm older and show my grandkids. But
what lovely memories to be able to show your grandkids, like, look at me in the Playboy mansion.
Yeah, it was amazing. But so I tested for Playboy, but I didn't really get briefed on what it actually entails. I just thought, you do you test for it, you do the shoot, and then they pick one girl a month. Like, so they fly like so many girls from around the world over, and then they all test for Playboy, and then they pick one a month, and at the end of the year they've got the 12 girls from the 12 months, and then they have a big ceremony, and the winner of like Playmate of the Year wins like a car, a house, 100 grand and all that. So I just thought, if you win that month, if you get chosen, you get your 25 grand. You do shoot, get your 25 grand and go home. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't the case. It was, you had to live there for 2 years and work for them. And I couldn't do that because of the baby. Yeah, so I had to come home. But it was an amazing experience at the time. It's the scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Like doing a shoot naked, like it was horrible. It was like a really quiet room like this, like no background music. There was about 50 people in there. Wherever there was a light, there was a person. There was like a light behind me, so there'd be a person behind the light, and you're fully like not on.
Was you nervous?
Oh, I was petrified. It was like a really early morning one as well, so like couldn't even like
have a bevy. I was still at the slide when it's about like
7 a.m. on the wire. No, it was petrifying. But the pictures turned out unreal. To be honest, I think they were amazing, but obviously they never got released and all that because
you couldn't stay.
Yeah, but I couldn't do the job, so they never got released, and they were the property of Playboy. Do you know what I mean? So you can't.
Can't you even post them?
What?
Couldn't you even like post them? Are they their pictures?
Oh yeah, they're their pictures. Like they give me the Polaroid thing, but I had to give them back.
So haven't you even got them?
I think they emailed me them, but then I lost my laptop. Well, my car got stolen and all, my laptop and all that was in it. And then I think like over the years, I lost that email they were on and all that. You know what I mean? I think I did have the pictures. I wouldn't be showing them to anyone anyway.
This is me. Look. So what was it like living in America?
I was on Girls the Playboy Mansion now.
Shut.
I was on that like, I think it was one episode just when I arrived there and I'm sitting with Hef at the table and I'd lost my suitcase and he couldn't understand the word that I was saying because it was a scout there. And my case never came off the plane with me, and guess when I got it back? When I'm leaving to go back.
What did you do?
What did I do? So obviously the Midsummer Night's Dream Party, I'd have a big, it was like Arabian.
I think everyone needs to know as well, this is the most organised person that you have ever met in your living life. Like proper, unbelievable.
So losing my case, you can
imagine you had the whole outfit, the earrings, the shoes, everything.
Head to toe.
Yeah.
I'd had something like properly made by, I think Mary Spenlow made me something. I brought brand new shoes, everything to match, and then my case never came off the plane. And I rang every day, and they're like, it's getting delivered today. So I had nothing at all. So the girl who was sharing with, we just went shopping. I bought myself some underwear and pyjamas and that. And then obviously it was the Midsummer Night's Dream Party, so I wanted to look unreal because you know the girls are all absolutely fabulous. They're all prancing around in thongs there and all that. And I thought, I'm not wearing the thong. I had a bit like having an Aladdin Jasmine style costume, do you know what I mean? Like the baggy pants and the thing over top.
You could wear a fucking bimbo there and look amazing, you little bitch.
Not no more. But at the time I was like sick there and my costume was unreal. And anyway, I never got it back. So I had to just buy something from that. If you heard of that underwear shop, that Trashy in LA, couldn't find shoes. So I borrowed, so Hef's girlfriend, Holly, he had the 3 at the time, she borrowed me a pair of his shoes. She was size 5, I was size 6. So my toes were like that, all night, crippled. And then when I left to leave, to go to the airport, when I got to the airport, it was there, just sitting there in my case. Full week, I had nothing. I was livid, to be honest, but as you say, there was no phones, so it wasn't like I needed to get loads of pictures anyway. Do you know what I mean? But on the episode that I'm on, I'm there with my outfit that I arrived in, and he's going on about couldn't understand me, and then he took us upstairs to watch a video on his bed. It sounds so cheesy. This is actually on the episode, and he's took the 3 of us up because there was 3 girls who arrived the same night, and he's showing us a video. This girl from Liverpool who's sent a video and who's obsessed with Playboy. He's got Playboy all over the room, so he was showing me that. And then that was it really, and then I was on the episode having a shisha bite on the trailer, and then that was that. So like, I did go, in case anyone doesn't believe me, because I've lost my bloody camera and my pictures. Which is a joke, isn't it?
So what happens when you come back from America?
So then, obviously my agent had released a statement to the press to say that Hugh Hefner couldn't pay me enough money to go naked. So I've arrived back into the UK, and I was like, that weren't the real truth. The real truth was that you had to live there for 2 years, you can only work for Playboy, and that you've got to live in the bunny house across the street as well, so you've got to be in for 9 p.m, you can only have, you're on an allowance off them, you're completely controlled by Playboy for 2 years. If I didn't have Savannah, obviously I would have stayed. I probably wouldn't be here now if that was the case, because I would have probably ended up living there forever, but she was my priority, so I had to come home. And then when I've come home, that story was all over the papers, saying that he couldn't pay me up, so I thought, fair enough, that sounds even better.
That's fine, let's go with it.
I know, so that was that, and then I got with Samantha Bonds, then I got an agent in Miami, or might have been the other way around. I think I got the agent in Miami first, because I'd done the other show, didn't I, Glamour Girls first.
Yeah.
That was the show about Samantha Bonds, yeah, I'd done that first. So he's done a show, an 8-week show called Glamour Girls, about her agency and all the girls in it. But my story was quite more appealing, because I was like a single mum trying
to better yourself for your daughter.
Yeah, and trying to, like, you know, do good in America and all that. I think that's how I ended up. I think it was LA. I think the Playboy Mansion was after that, because they were filming it before that, but the Playboy Mansion wouldn't let them film in there and all that. You're not allowed. No cameras.
So it was just all conflicting as well. So when you were over in America, what did you experience? You're this model, you're all of a sudden in America, what was it like?
Well, the first time I went to Miami, actually, these people who own this magazine, I can't even remember what the magazine was called, they flew me and, do you remember Louise Glover? He was a really big model at the time. They flew me and Louise Glover over, and Lauren Pope. Yeah. You know Lauren Pope?
Yeah, from Essex.
Yeah, so they chose us three and flew us over to model for this magazine. But they were all like, I don't know, the lad who owned it, his family invented spice. Like, not that spice that you put on food that everyone uses. His family invented that, so they were absolutely like, they had the most money ever. So they had this magazine. So I think the son and his mates just wanted like some girls coming over, and they just took us out partying every night in all these clubs, and it was just wild at the time. But then obviously I made connections over there, got an agent, and then I was back and forth all the time. That was actually on that show, me with this agent, and then, you know, trying to get work, and yeah, it was all good, it was all exciting. What do you remember of it like?
So you've come back, you've got the baby. What did you do next?
Well, don't get me wrong.
Oh, hang on a minute, can I just bring something up as well? You done a music video, didn't you?
Yeah, I done two. I done Dane Bowers. Is this what you're on about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I done Dane Bowers music video when it was his comeback single. I actually really loved the song as well. My mum was crying going, is this song about you? Like, no. But I done that, and then I done a couple of music videos actually.
Did you have a little neck with him?
What?
Did you have a little neck with him?
Went on a date with him, like, not really happened, no. He's a nice lad, but
not for you.
No. So I done another one as well, but who was it for? I can't even remember. But yeah, but anyway, the single was unbelievable, but it never got nowhere in the charts or something. Did you see the video?
I remember it years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Was it in black and white? No. I just totally made that up.
No, it was actually. I think the end bit was in black and white, yeah. Had the biggest hair.
I remember it years ago. I remember thinking, oh, look how gorgeous she is.
The hair was about that high.
Yeah, but that was how everyone wore it.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Go on, so what did you say when I come back? Well, the thing was, though, I wasn't, like I said this in my podcast the other week about being a single parent. I think I brought it across wrong. I was like talking about myself and my story about being a single parent, as in, like, I had to keep a roof over my head and, like, you know, pay all the bills myself, and then, you know, pay for the car. As you know, it's hard going.
Telling you, Dom.
But I weren't a single parent, as in, I had to look after Savannah all on my own, because her dad was around.
But you wouldn't have been able to have this career if you must have had support, because you wouldn't have been able to do it. But in terms of financial, I know myself, I was a single parent, and her dad's family were dead good, but at the same time, I'm still single, I'm still on my own, I've still got to make sure that everything's done. You're still the main provider. I mean, they can help you as much as they want, but it's a hard job being on your own. He
was amazing, to be honest. He was the best dad I could wish for her. Like, he gave her everything, and he did have her like a good few days a week. So if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have been able to do all them things. So when I was saying single parent, I wasn't meaning like his dad weren't around, because he was brilliant with her. I think I was just carried away with about my story and how I felt.
But it's a big part of it, man, and if you left that out, it's like, You know, you didn't have the home life for a child where it was mum, dad, the baby, and you had the kids in the house, and you didn't have a bill worry, you didn't have no worries.
The bills and the, you know, it's all going when you're on your own. But when I was saying on my own, I meant like on my own as in paying for the roof over me and all the bills and cars.
You weren't a mollycoddled wife, was you?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
But at the same time, I wasn't a single parent.
Set the record straight.
Yeah, I've got to put the record straight that I wasn't a single parent, as in like, his dad's wearing around because he was, and he's brilliant, and he still actually is till this day. But I just forgot to mention that part and got a bit in trouble for it. Savannah was like,
I was in trouble.
It looks like you just made out like it was just you on your own. And I was like, okay, I'll put it right, don't worry.
Oh yeah, I'll take that one up.
Yeah.
So when you've come back from America, where did your work go then?
At Samantha Bond for years, to be honest. I was just doing all work through Samantha Bond. She was like the biggest agency at the time, so I was constantly in London, castings all the time, doing all different stuff for her. I've done all kinds over the years.
Now it's easy to be like a model because there's not easy, but there's so much on Instagram, isn't it? Instagram can just make you massive.
I mean, you can make yourself a model overnight and get paid all kinds of money, and that's your promotional tool. But at the time, we didn't have
football, did you?
We had MySpace. But that was more, that wasn't really nothing, that wasn't for all that. But I think back then it was more like newspapers and magazines. That's
a lot
that's
bigger,
how you got noticed.
Than
it is
today.
These days. No one, I mean, everyone used to buy the papers every day, or everyone used to buy the lads mags to see when you were a model. It was the lads mags you'd have to be in, like to be noticed and all that. So I was in the lads mags every week. Do you know what I mean? All the time, and I was in the Daily Star all the time, and I was in the Echo every other day. So it was that's how you were known.
Imagine how big you would have been if you moved that period into now and you had all these channels. You'd have fucking smashed it up.
And I look back and think, why didn't we have phones then? It's so annoying. Because I think to myself, I said this, I'm repeating myself because I said this on the podcast the other week, but I said, like, if I did have phones, if people could only see, like, the places that I went, the people that I met, the parties that I went to, like if I spoke about it, people wouldn't believe it. So and like it's just mad because the stuff, just the things that I've done, it's like and I can't, like, no one really, you know, it's not out there because we didn't have phones and that. Do you know what I mean?
So we come forward and we've got this new reality show that's starting in Liverpool.
Scousewise.
Yeah. And you've gone along, bought into it. What did they tell you?
No, they just contacted me. It was I was 30 at the time. It was my 30th birthday, and I was thinking, do you know what? I'm done now with all this modelling. I think I've just, you know, I've given it my best go. I've had a good run. I'm just gonna like have a career change. I was thinking about setting up a business, blah blah blah. And then I got the call for Scousewise, and I was like, they were like, your name's been through in the app by everyone. We want to have a meeting, so I had a meeting with them. And they were like, we want to sort of bring out a TV show. It's going to be like Towie.
And that was massive
at the time. Towie had not long been out, so Scousewise was like the second one. And they were just sold us the dream, really. And, you know, Desperate Scousewise, it was called that because it was on E4, and on the same channel was Desperate Housewives in America. Mm-hmm. So they just done a bit of a spin-off with the title. And everyone was like, oh, you know, desperate, desperate this, desperate that. And I was like, there wasn't one desperate girl on it. Everyone had their own thing going on. Everyone had their own money. No one was married. It was just a spin-off title. We all had Twitter. And I got like 100,000 followers on Twitter, like straight away. And then as soon as they said we weren't getting series 2, I lost about 50,000 followers. I've still got 70,000 on there, but no one uses it. And I think I wish it was Instagram because that, do you know what I mean? Because Instagram's the one now, isn't it? But it is what it is.
What was it like having to deal with all that negativity and people being horrible? And
well, I'd already sort of been in that world, do you know what I mean? For a while, and with the majority, no one actually had on the show already. Yeah. The other girls were just like coming from normal lives where I'd already experienced, you know, with doing other TV shows and being in the limelight. So then obviously when Scousewise came and the first night it aired, there was 1.8 million viewers. So there's 1.8 million opinions. So it was actually me and Carla sat in mine watching. We had everyone round and everyone went. And then me and her sat there, we were having a drink and all that. Well, the Twitter was just shocking. and I couldn't not prepare me for the abuse and the shit that I got. I literally didn't go to sleep. I was petrified. I was getting death threats of people saying they're gonna burn me house down, they're gonna petrol bomb me house, they know what school my daughter goes to. It was bad. I was shitting myself, thinking, what have I done? What have I actually done anyway? It's not like I've gone on telly and gone and, you know, been disgusted and rude and been vile. We're just young girls, you know, trying to better ourselves and better our careers. And, like, who doesn't do shit like that if you get offered it? Like, I gotta admit, if I was in a better position, if I was like married at the time, or I was in like a serious relationship and I had loads of money around me and I had a business, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I was on my own, and I was...
Let's be honest, Amanda, 9.9 people out of 10, something comes along like that sells you the dream. Everyone would do it, love. Everyone. See these little gobshites who are sitting at home and they're like this, I'm not who's giving you shit. Not one of them would say it to your face.
No one ever did.
One.
No one ever
That's
did.
the whole point. So they'll sit there on the keyboard while he's giving you pure shit.
I know.
Because the shit houses, that's the whole point.
I was that petrified to go out the door, thinking, what have I done? Like, and
you're a strong person.
Yeah, but that not prepared me for that, because I hadn't been put in the spotlight that much. It was on E4. It's a massive channel, and millions of people had seen. And the shit that I got, I was like, me and Carl was sitting there going, oh my God. I was scared to be in my own house, didn't go out for a week. Honestly, I thought I just really felt like the world was against me. Why have I done? And the way they portrayed me as well, like, they set that fight up with Jaden, and we'd all been to the Style Awards, so we were all drunk, all drinking, and I had no clue about that was going to happen. And they set up a fake after party, and he said to me, listen, like, I'm going to have to go for you here, so just be warned. And I was like, what? What's going on? Like, I thought we'd done with filming. So then they just put me in this room, and bear in mind, everyone in there, when you're filming like that, everyone else has got to be quiet. So they had to look like it was a party, but no one's speaking. So they're miming to each other. There's a silent room, and you've got him giving me shit. So I have just turned on him. And then that was that. I just got, hell, like, you've made a show of this city. I was like, oh, fuck off.
That's what you feel like as
Who
well.
walks around in rollers?
Everyone.
At the time, everyone did.
Yeah.
Where have you been hiding under a rock?
I know.
So it was just bad. And but then, obviously, like a week later, starts going out again. Well, everyone was so, like, coming over. Oh my God, I loved it. It was amazing. You were great. You this, that. Not one person ever said one word to my face. Not one person in all the years. No one. So then I realised it's actually all right on the outside. Like, I haven't got to hibernate in the house. It weren't really that bad.
In the fucking house.
That's when I first realised about keyboard warriors, and that's when I first, like, my block list on Twitter, wow, it's like about 2,000 deep, honestly. There's that many people I have to block the shit that I was getting, but no one ever says nothing to your face. But then I've learned that over the years. So
How have you learned to deal with it though, so now?
I just completely ignore it.
Do you not read it?
You can't help but read it, because you check your messages every day and your DMs.
I don't read it no more.
I don't really get no shit no more, to be honest. I think when you're putting yourself out there for people to, you know, have opinions of you do get
but it's just fucking pure jealousy, Amanda. That's what it's down to. There's no other way to get around it. It's just people who've been jealous of you.
Yeah. I think people are just like, I mean, I just don't know why. Why do you want to jump on and just give someone shit for no reason? It's just like...
It's weird.
It's obviously they're just bitter with their own lives, aren't they? But now I'm older and I've been through all that. I just ignore it. I don't really get much these days. But someone said to me last night on a Q&A, and ever do reality TV again. And in one breath, I think, because I got contacted in lockdown by a show that's on now, that's really good, that'd really suit me, to be honest. I would enjoy to do it. I don't want to say what one it is, but then I had a few meetings with them and all that, and then I thought to myself, I would enjoy to do that. I think, like, I'd love to do filming again, but then that side of it, I think, I don't know whether I can be arsed with all the shit that comes with it as well.
You know what, though, Doll? There's what we've got to do as girls. We've got to do things because we want to, and never let any other people's opinions put us off from doing it. So if you feel that you are good for that, then you fucking pick that phone up and you do it, because don't let them bastards win. And that's the thing.
It's not them winning. I just personally, I actually enjoy the quiet life now, and I just think, do I want to be?
Oh man, you're too gorgeous to be quiet.
I think, do I want to propel myself back onto the spotlight again and be like scrutinised and be every move that I make watched? I do. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, part of me wants to, but then part of me thinks
I'm in two minds.
I'm in two minds. Like, I do enjoy the quiet life. I'm old now, and I like, you know, I like going places and not out, because when you're on a show like that, you can't have a minute, you know, like everywhere you go, everyone comes over to you, wants a picture with you, or, you know, you're having something to eat and people are staring at you and taking pictures of you on the sly and all that, and I think, that doesn't happen to me no more. Like, and I quite enjoy it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, having a bit of peace.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's just, I am in two minds.
Who knows what the future holds,
That's
darling?
exactly what I said. Never say never.
Right, along the way, and be honest now, Amanda, have you lost friends?
Oh God, yeah. I've had so many fake people around me over the years, people who you think are your friends, but they're not. And the minute you start doing well, you do lose friends, because people don't like it. People like your friends like you doing well, but they never want you to do better than them, that's the thing.
That's the
but I am just one of them, like, you know, all my gang do well. We all got our own businesses, like, we inspire each other, we push each other, we promote each other. So we all love a laugh, we all love a party, but at the same time, we've all got our head screws on, and everyone around me does do well. So it's like my gang now, we're all, because everyone's doing well, we all want each other to do well, and we're always pushing each other. But over the years with me, I found that, like, I didn't really want to speak about stuff that I was doing in front of people, because it felt like they'd be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, looking down on you.
As you get older, your circle does get smaller dramatically, doesn't it?
So much, yeah.
And if you've got a circle around you now, you feel like they're solid and you can depend on them.
Yeah, I have, but like, as I just said, we're all just like pushing each other all the time, and always, you know, speaking about what we do next, what's our next plans, and like, we all help each other. We all promote each other without even asking each other. Like, if one of us posts something, we'll just post it automatically without having to be asked. But I don't know, I just think as you're growing up, like, you find that you end up with literally a handful of mates you can count on one hand who are actually real, because there's so many fake people out there, and they backstab you, and two-faced people as well.
But are you able to now identify that?
I always did. I can see right through people. Mate, that is my, what were we saying about before, about your superpower?
Your skill set.
Your skill set. That's my skill set. I can read people from a mile, and I know who was fake and I know who was real. But I'll entertain them, but I won't let them in, do you know what I mean? But this is why I was getting asked the other night about, like, what type of wedding I'm going to have when I get married. And I was like, I'm so glad I didn't get married years ago when I was younger, because you've got so many people around you, and you feel like you've got to invite everyone, because you'll upset this person, you'll upset that person. And now I'm older, I think now I will literally have the smallest wedding ever, because I'll only be inviting people who I actually speak to on a daily basis, who actually genuinely care about me, and anyone else, you won't be getting invited. So I'm sorry.
And you won't even feel bad about it?
I won't care. Where years ago, I probably would have looked, if I'd have got married years ago, I probably would have looked back and gone, oh my God, we don't even speak anymore, or they don't bother with me. And the people who you think are going to be in your life forever, it's sad, because they turn out not to, do you know what I mean? And I look back and think, you get to an age where the people that you've had around you for years, you know they're your people, do you know what I mean?
They've all dwindled away.
Yeah.
Are you going to plan your own wedding, or are you going to let a wedding planner come in?
I couldn't handle a planner. I'm an as you know, I'm an OCD, like, organisation lunatic. So I already know exactly what type of wedding I want. I might get a planner just to, like, pass on to, this is what I want, so you organise it, but I will give them to a T what I want, and this is what I want, so you just go and make it happen. But I wouldn't let them take over.
Where is yours? I look, every time I look on Instagram or I see you, I go to Carla, I can't even look at that girl. It's absolutely perfect. The outfits are down to the T. Where does that style come from? How do you know what to put together? How do you know that? Because you do. I've never seen you look a shell. I go to that, Carla, have you got a picture of her looking a shell? I need to see it.
Now, I've been sick all week. I'm not going to mention these chip nails, that's why I'm hiding them under there. I've got a spot which I never get. I'm in the walls.
How'd you do it? How'd you be this stylist to yourself and get it bang on every time?
I really don't know.
Have you always been like that?
I've always been, like, into fashion and all that, but I don't know, I think my Scouse 5 days were a bit crazy, the outfits you to wear, but that was the style, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, my nan was the most stylish woman ever. Like every day she'd have her fur coat on, or nails would always be done, her hair would be done, she'd have all the jewellery on wherever she went, you know what I mean? Like every Tuesday she'd be in the hairdressers without fail getting a blow dry. Well, the bingo perm.
Yeah.
And then her nails would be on the Wednesday. She was so like, she was dead glamorous, my nan. And she was really into like fashion also. I don't know whether it's from her, I don't know, but I've always been obsessed. But I don't know whether it's something that you learn or you just know. Do you know what I mean?
I think you've just got it because I fucking don't. I absolutely don't. So fast forward 10 years, you have now got a business that's based in one of the biggest stores in the world. Would fucking have to be, wouldn't it, with you? How did you get in?
I wouldn't settle for no less.
Would you so how did this start? So it's called ZeroFat.
Yeah.
Right. How did that become a thing? How did you get into it?
Oh, so that machine is actually in other countries, but I seen it and it was not the way it looks and it was called something else. I got in touch with the manufacturers, asked if I could be the UK distributor, and then they agreed, and then they made my ones the colours that I wanted, let me rebrand it.
Okay.
And then that was that. I needed to do a PR campaign to get it out there in the UK. So I was thinking, where can I do this PR campaign? Because I needed to get loads of influencers and celebrities, and I knew enough people, so I knew I could do it, but I just needed to get it out there so people knew about it. So I just contacted Harvey Nichols and just asked him and said, can I just do a PR campaign in Beauty Bazaar? I'll only be there for a month or two. Like, I'll obviously get everyone in there, you'll get publicity, I'll get the publicity that I want, and then I had to go for a million meetings, obviously, because you can't just get in there on a whim. I had loads of meetings, back and forth for ages, and then they said yeah, and here I am 5 years later.
Amazing. Was you confident in doing it? No way you've just picked the phone up to Harvey Nicks, like this girl's going to be watching this thinking, oh, I could never do that. Where's it?
There's brands that are 50, 60 years old and still can't get into Harvey Nicks. They're not the type of store that just take. But obviously I weren't trying to get in every Harvey Nicks in the country. I just wanted to get in somewhere that was amazing in Liverpool, and I don't think there's anywhere better in Liverpool to put your business. But obviously it was obviously just like a little campaign, but it was I think it's because I personally messaged the Twitter for Beauty Bazaar. Okay. So I messaged the Twitter off my own Twitter and said, like, whoever was doing the PR at the time, I just said, I need somewhere to put this amazing machine. I'll only be in there a couple of months, and obviously, you know, you'll get publicity from it, I'll get publicity from it. And then that was that. And then I got in there, and then I've been in there ever since, and everyone's just, I couldn't think of a better place to have it, because the people, the managers who were in there, and like the girls who work there, it's just like a one big family, and everyone's so nice, and I couldn't think of a better place to have it, to be honest.
What was it like setting your own business up? So you've had this amazing career, telly star, playboy model. What?
It was time, really.
But how did it feel? What was the first thing you done?
Business-wise, we cashed in off the back of Scousewise and brought our own dresses out, our own clothes range, with Mary Spenlove made us the dresses, and then we had a factory then. So we done our own, because we thought this isn't going to last for long now, we need to cash in now. Okay. Before it all dries up, before the word gets out, we're not getting series 2, we need to cash in now, and everyone was obsessed with the sticky out sequin dresses. So we brought a clothes range out and just sold absolutely loads of them. Wow. We had a factory making them for us, we were just churning them out. We got like a website called Scouse Boutique and just had all Scouse things on it, because everyone was like, because a lot of people didn't really know much about Liverpool, so we done Scouse Boutique, so it was everything on there, like rollers, just like everything that Scouse girls love really. Rollers, lashes, clothes, all that. So we done that for a bit, and then I ended up doing ZeroFat.
Have you enjoyed ZeroFat?
Yeah, I have. I want to take it to Dubai eventually, because I think it'll do really well over there. So I'm looking on going over there, but obviously I had it going in somewhere really amazing, but COVID ruined that. So I'm back to square one with my Dubai plans, but it will happen eventually. I'll make sure of it. But COVID just has wrecked a lot of things for a lot of people, hasn't it?
Not at all.
That it was actually already sorted to go in these 2 clinics over there, and then they didn't end up opening the clinics because of COVID. So the investors pulled out and all that. It was already sorted.
But you're not going to give up, are you?
No, never give up.
So you're going to go back there and go, right, where's it next?
Yeah.
So even like now in your career, we still all face setbacks all the time. And the thing that we've got to learn is that you can't let it stop you. You've got to carry on.
It does really dishearten you. Like, I had some, I had a fella in Australia who's already a distributor for infrared light therapy machines, but they're like beds. He was absolutely chasing me like you wouldn't believe, wanting to get the distribution contract for Australia. So I was like, no, you're not getting the distribution contract, but you can buy them through me, because I'm not going to put you in touch with the manufacturers and then I'm just cut out the deal.
Okay.
So I thought, you can get them through me, I'll be the middleman. So going through all kinds of solicitors, everything. He was chatting 50 machines a month. So for me, that was
major.
Yeah, major money every month.
Yeah.
So I had the money spent, clearly. I already had the money spent. It was already gone.
Scouse girl.
Oh, of course, I had the full rig out full of head to toe done. So I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be major money for me. This absolutely buzzing. Went out absolutely set, like proper celebrated and all that, because the contracts were signed.
Wow.
COVID happened, and the next thing you know, he's like, I can't go ahead. I was like, I was being multi-millionaire off it. Yeah, it was that close to happening. So I thought, right, so that was a massive knockback for me, because we'd already gone out and like celebrated more with the family, buying champagne and all. Never even happened, but honestly, it was drained the life out of me. That I was so upset. I sobbed my eyes out. Thought, you know what? That was just going to make me that. That was going to be the best thing that could happen. And then it never happened, and it really did set me back and really just disheartened me with it all. Because
how did you bounce back from that?
I'm a strong person. I've been through worse, but that was good. That really was like set in stone, and the deal was done. Do you know?
But that's what we do, Dom.
Yeah.
Things don't go the way we planned, but we bounce back.
That's
we dust
I mean.
ourselves off, and that is key. You've got to dust yourself off and go, right, okay, it wasn't meant to be.
And you've also got to appreciate your knockbacks, and you've got to, you've got to be honest about them as well, because I feel like that's what makes you stronger as a person, and that's what makes you, fight a bit harder next time for the next thing. You know what I mean? But that was probably my biggest setback. But I've had about 3 of them, but that was 3 setbacks with the brand. But that was the biggest one that just knocked me off my feet. I thought, wow, I can't believe this. I'm just done with it all. Then I thought, no, if someone was willing to do that,
someone else
this will happen eventually. It will happen. It's just a case of not giving up and just biding your time with it, because it will happen. Yeah, it will happen, definitely, because there wouldn't be that much interest in it and people wanting to, invest all that money if it weren't going to happen.
How does it feel though that, at the very beginning of the podcast we were talking about, like, you didn't do your GCSEs, to somebody wanting to invest multi-millions of pounds into you, as a person, what does that feel like to you?
It makes me feel really confident, because I just always knew, I shouldn't really say this, but I feel like just them GCSEs, if you don't get your GCSEs, that does not mean you're going to be a failure in life. There's so many people who walked out of school with nothing. I had no guidance, I had no dad around, my mum was in work all the time. Like, there was no one guiding me or being strict with me and telling me this is what I had to do. I had a tutor who was trying, but I just blanked him. So, it's just people are like heartbroken, don't get the GCSEs. It's not about that. You can be so clever and streetwise. I was more streetwise than anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was so above my years in school. I would never have entertained a lad in school. They were all kids to me. Because I had to bring myself up, you know what I mean? My mum was on her own and my dad weren't around and all that. So I was just so more advanced for my age. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was never that kid I was never gonna do shit. Never.
Because you've always wanted more.
Yeah, because my mum had nothing. So, and I always wanted everything and I couldn't have it. So that's what made me more want to do good, and always pushing for more and wanting to make money, and always been like that. But I think anyone with that type of background and that type of upbringing, I'm not saying people who, like, a lot of people who are, you know, silver spoon fed and the mum and dads have got money.
They don't appreciate it.
They've always got that person to fall back on. So if they come unstuck, they know that they've got a pot of money there that they can just, and they've got a back. But when you know that if you come unstuck and you don't make money, you're not getting food on the table. And it is a drive that in people that makes you, when you've been in that situation, to know that if you don't earn that money, then you're not going to eat. And you haven't got anyone to fall back on. So if you don't do that, you're going to starve. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you know that and you have that feeling, you're always in your mind, always racing how you can make more money.
Gives you more drive and determination, doesn't it? And it makes you work that little bit harder and push yourself that little bit more.
I think anyone who's been in that situation is that way inclined as well.
And there's so many strong women from Liverpool who have done well for themselves.
Oh yeah, I love it now. Loads of people. It's like everyone's like raring to go with the business. Everyone's wanting to make money, and you know, Instagram's been amazing for most people. Do you know what I mean? Because it's an instant business that you can make money from, and it is great to watch. Like I said before, all my mates do well, and you know, they all inspire me, because when we go for something to eat, we're not dossers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all speaking about. So we're doing this now, we're doing this product, we're doing this.
You're not talking about people, you're talking about
we
what's
don't
happening.
Jangle, we talk about how much more money we want to make, and you know what we're doing next to grow our businesses. Like we're all striving all the time, so it's good. It helps having people around you and your circle who are all good at what they do. Like everyone around me is really good, they're the best at what they do, and it's good because it gives me the drive more as well to push myself further, because I've got everyone around me smashing it. Yeah. So it makes me want to smash it more. Like, absolutely. That's what happens. But if you're hanging out with a gang of dossers who don't want to do nothing, you can't sit there going, well, I'm going to bring another book out next year.
Okay, so let's just go back a little bit before she does this. So in Amanda Harrington's style, so we've had model, we've had reality TV star, we've had beautician. She's brought out a cookbook. How random. How random. So during lockdown, you
got my finger in every pie.
Darling. So, lockdown,
This was something that was never a plan, by the way.
You brought out a page at home with Miss Harrington.
Yeah.
Where's the cooking come from?
Right, so I've always cooked, always enjoyed it, but just didn't really realise I was actually good at it, because I've never really put it out there. Yeah. So then I was cooking and I was putting it on me normal Instagram, and everyone was messaging me for the recipes all the time, and I was finding myself writing recipes out constantly for people, and Josh, I'll have to credit him for this because I didn't credit him in the book. So Josh Kelly. Oh, I'm sure he'll love that. Just in case you missed it, Josh Kelly, aka Martin Lewis. It was his idea, guys. All credit goes to Josh Kelly.
Just say that one more time, man.
Josh Kelly. All credit goes to Josh Kelly. So he was said, why don't you set up a cooking page? And I went, oh wait, come on, I'm not setting up a cooking page like I'm some big chef. And no, you should. And then separate it from your normal page, because people will unfollow you and that, who follow you for fashion and whatever else. So I was like a bit like wary about doing it. I was like joining in, doing the recipes, and then I started doing like every night in January. I knew everyone was on a health kick, so I started doing all meals under 500 calories. So, and then it was just become like a really good community that I built, and I really enjoyed it. And as I say, I had nothing else going on, so it was just something for me to do. And then everyone started saying to me, why don't you do a cookbook? So I was like, should I? Never something I had dreamed of doing. And then everyone was saying it to me. And I was thinking, do you know what? I might do one. I thought, why not? Why not? You know, I've got nothing else going on. So I spoke to Alyssa, who's obviously, she's a writer. She's done loads of books. She's a mate of mine. So I was like, I just want to do like a bit of a, you know, like an e-book, like put all my recipes on and my pictures that I took with the iPhone. And she was like, you're not doing a shit one. If you're doing it, you're doing it properly. She's like, you can't use your pictures on Instagram. You've took them with your iPhone, they're dead dull, they're dark. You need to do it properly. I've got all the contacts. Next thing you know, I'm writing a cookbook. So I didn't realise how much work I go into it. And now I look back and think, wow, it took me a full year to do it. But I'm glad I've done it now. It was amazing. I've enjoyed every minute of it, because it's something that I've never, ever in a million years thought I'd ever do, or even wanted to do, or even crossed my mind, because I'm not a chef. Don't think I'm one. Not trying to be one. I just wanted to do something, Because as you just said, like...
Well, why aren't you the chef if you can cook? You cook
Well,
food.
I'm not a trained chef, and I don't want people who are chefs and I've trained to be chefs to think that I'm trying to be one, because I'm not. I've created something because I do love cooking, and I've got loads of cookbooks, and a lot of them are overwhelming, and a lot of them are very confusing. There's ingredients that you've never heard of in your life that you're never going to get in the Asda or the Tesco. So for me, I thought, as you just said, all the girls now in Liverpool are all doing well. Yeah. So a lot of them have got loads of kids. Not loads of kids, but some kids, and they're busy.
I've got loads.
Yeah, you've got loads. Kids, running a house, running a business. So I thought, I want to do a cookbook. And then I've had girls message me going like, oh, you know, I just haven't got time. You haven't got time to cook a meal from scratch when you get it? Yeah, can't you? No. This is what I mean. So, but if you got the book and you'd see the recipes, you could do them. So this is why... I need to get a copy. This is... I'll sort it for you. So basically, the recipes in it, I have purposely done the least ingredients with the shortest methods. I've seen some of the things where I'm like, I can't stand it, because every time she posts, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking starving. I feel on it, but it's true Amanda Harrington style. Even the dinners are perfection. Your fella must be absolutely buzzing with you. He eats like a king, yeah. I bet you he does. He's got used to it now, though. He's like, what's on the menu? Oh, you cheeky bastard. You've spoiled him. So, no wonder he's marrying Kate. So, not him, sorry. So the book, I just thought, I want to make this book like easy for women to understand. For all these women who've got careers now, who've got kids who just have not got time to cook from scratch every night from these crazy ingredient lists, to, like, even when you buy a cookbook and there's like no picture, like I'll never do a recipe with no picture, because you want to see what you're cooking and what the outcome is. So every single recipe's got a picture, every single recipe's got the calories, and they are literally the easiest things in the world to do. So that's why... Do you teach me to cook? Because I can't boil an egg. You probably can, you probably just don't try. I'm absolutely horrific. Oh yeah? Yeah. Have you even tried though? A little bit, but I just I don't know the way yours come out like all perfect. Mine looks like someone's gone. Because you haven't got a plate. Yeah, but if you had a book, you can follow instructions easy. You'll be fine. So this is why I've done it. Though, for people like you who just like who are scared to cook in the kitchen, or who think they can't cook, you can cook. You just need healthy, wholesome meals for your family, because there's nothing more rewarding than putting something in front of your kids and thinking, I made that. Exactly that. I love cooking for everyone, and I love it when everyone comes round and I make them something and everyone's made up with it. There's no better feeling. So I've never ever like been a ready meal person. Like, you'd never catch me throwing a lasagna ready made in the thing and giving it. You know. I just couldn't. I am the fucking absolute. Was that you? Marks and Spencer's, yes. Marks and Spencer's, put them in the microwave, put it on a plate and give it to me kids. In the microwave as well. See, no good that. She's beating me under the like false. It's like false warming up as well. Don't get me started. Do you really microwave? Yeah. Oh, you could at least put them in the oven. It's too much time. This is what I mean. It's the time. It's all about the time. So you've just got to. All it is, right, is just about planning a little bit ahead, even 2 days. So look in the book and go, right, I'm making that tomorrow and that tomorrow. There's the ingredient list. You probably got 5 things on it. Go to the shop and get it, and then do it. That's why I've done it, for just girls who are busy and they've got careers and they've got kids. I've just done it so they can make a meal from scratch and be proud of it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. That's why I've done it. That's why I've done the book. Not to be like, oh, I've cooked a few dinners and knocked out, and now I'm this big chef. I'm really not trying. You're enjoying it and you're sharing it with us girls. That's it. That's it. And you're well entitled to do that, my love. And we're all made up, because I'm going to get it and try to do dinner. I'll show you all on my Instagram. No more microwave meals. Put it on microwave meals. So what has been the biggest challenge you've ever faced in this absolutely massive career? Probably getting my books here on time. From the other side of the world. Oh, it's been giving me anxiety, because they were meant to arrive on the 1st of December. And then obviously due to like COVID or just the Christmas, everything's delayed. There's less people working, and the ports, just all that. So I've been told they're getting delivered on the 11th, and then they'll go out that week. You're having a breakdown. They're actually getting delivered to Felixstowe now. I thought they were coming to Liverpool, so it's mentally draining me, like, but it is what it is. We just have to crack on. Another challenge. And I'm getting emails by the minute, where's my book? I'm like, You will have it before Christmas. Just bear with me. I'm having a meltdown over it. Because you know when I'm like, everything's got to be proper and perfect. So when I got told they were in till 11th, I was like, 11? That's like 10 days after I've said they're going to be here. I can't handle that.
It's beyond your control,
it's out of my control, and that's when I flip out, when I can't control things. So I've had to take a few deep breaths over it. I've flipped on all kinds of people, but there's nothing anyone can do. It is what it is. Everyone will get them before Christmas, and that's what matters.
Exactly.
So you need to just chill the beans and just
leave
bear
her,
with me.
leave her alone. She needs a break.
It's not like I want to keep them all
to
myself.
Me.
There's stacks of books.
And it's sold amazingly, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's done really well. I was shocked, to be honest, how many people have bought it. I'm made up.
Congratulations,
Thank
sweetheart.
you.
Another string to your belt.
Yeah.
What would be the biggest...
Author.
Yeah,
Author and chef.
Oh, no joking. Just another one. What would you tell your younger self if she was sat in that chair now? What advice would you give Amanda?
Don't care what anyone thinks. Don't give a shit what anyone thinks. If you want to do something, do it, because no one else is paying your bills. No one else is helping you through life. You've only got yourself.
Absolutely.
Lucky if you've got a partner who helps you, but a lot of people don't. So just, you're going to do something, do it, and don't give a shit what anyone thinks. That's what I've learned as I grow up, and I literally do not care what anyone thinks anymore. I used to years ago. I couldn't give a shit now. Just really don't care.
What would you be your message?
Me years ago would never have done a cookbook just because of what everyone would think about me doing a book. But now I think, I don't give a shit. Slate me all you want.
But look at you've smashed it. So you could have took them opinions and gone, oh, I'm not doing it because everyone will slate me. But you've done it. And you've absolutely yet again smashed it. It's sold out. You can't get enough copies.
Hasn't sold out yet, but...
Your first loads are sold out, though,
yeah.
So, I mean, you can go to reprint, but the ones that you ordered have gone.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have had that feeling of success if you would have let people's opinions stop you.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have done it.
I mean, I've had no... I thought I'd get a few dodgy messages as well, but I've not even had one, so...
Good girl. So what would be your advice to all the girls watching this if they were about to start their own business? What would your top tips be? My
top tips would be, make sure you do the proper research about that business before you start. Don't announce your moves before you make them. Make sure you don't even... You can tell people, but I wouldn't. I would... Hold your cards close to your chest. Yeah, because... And not only that, it's in case you tell people and then someone takes your idea, or they try and put the dampeners on it because they don't... Because they don't want you to do better than them. Or they might be a little bit jealous of you. Don't tell people your moves until you've made them. That's what I've learned to do, because people might knock you off your perch, you know what I mean? Yeah. And try and talk you out of it or make you feel like you can't do it. So just don't tell anyone, and don't give a shit what anyone thinks, and just do it. Go ahead and do it. Go for it and don't care. Girls, and if you want to copy... If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's only... Get up and crack on and do something else. Girls, if you want a copy of Amanda's book, you can get it and follow her page at home with Miss Amanda Harrington. And if you don't already follow her, what's your Insta? Miss Amanda Harrington. Oh yeah, there's loads going on there. Amanda, thank you so much for spending the time today and coming to Sisterhood HQ. And I do hope that you will be a big sister. So what we're doing at Sisterhood HQ is all the girls that are smashing it, we're going to ask them to be big sisters in their category. So we will be inviting you, Amanda. And if you say no, we'll kill you. What is it? So what it'll be is, so there'll be peers in Sisterhood HQ. I haven't got a sister, so I'm made up to be, it has to be a big sister. Oh, you've got loads now. So there'll be big sisters in it. So once a month we'll be going online with girls, and you'll be giving them, they'll be asking you questions and advice, and we do like an hour Zoom once a month, and like events where you'll come along and girls will be able to ask you questions. So being a boss is lonely, man. Do you know what I mean? You know yourself, where you're sitting there and you think, have I done that right? Should I do that? Like where you're saying, shall you take the chance? It's a soundboard. It's where we're all cheering for each other. And I know that I want you to get past me, because when you're up there, man, you'll put your hand back down and pull the rest of us up. That's what it's all about. It's about supporting each other. It's about helping each other grow. So you're going to get involved, though? Yeah, of course. I love it. I love anything like that. I'll help anyone, me. And you know what? I don't get jealous of anyone either. If anyone's doing well, I clap for them. Yeah. And anyone around me doing well, I love seeing it, because it's just a good feeling that people you love and care about doing well. I don't get the mentality of the people who don't enjoy seeing other people do well, it really doesn't sit right with me because I'm the opposite.
They're not happy themselves, man. That's what the whole point of it is. Jealousy is rooted from people not being happy in their own life. So what we're trying to do is eradicate jealousy completely between women. And if you do get them feelings or whatever, you need to push them out and come to one of our meetings and get involved with us, girls.
Yeah.
Man's get a big kiss. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Doc.